We live in an era addicted to noise. The instinct is to broadcast every move, every thought, and every minor victory. Think of loud power, desperate, visible, wings beating frantically against a bright sky just to prove it exists. We fall into this trap every day. We overshare our routines, our relationships, and our frustrations on social media, handing over the blueprints to our personal lives. Broadcasting every detail invites open judgment. It gives an audience a front row seat to critique your choices, which slowly chips away at your own confidence. In screenwriting, this exact flaw has a name: talking head syndrome. When a character walks into a room and awkwardly announces their backstory or their exact emotional state aloud, the scene dies. The narrative illusion shatters, because people in the real world rarely operate that way. Telling everyone everything is a symptom of ego. You want to be validated so badly that you voluntarily map out your inner workings. By doing so, you hand opponents the exact coordinates of your weak spots. To truly captivate an audience, whether you are drafting a screenplay, framing a cinematic shot, or simply walking through a crowded room, you have to starve the ego. You have to master the architecture of mystery. Mystery begins with what you choose not to say. In film, writers use small, deliberate physical actions. Instead of a character yelling that they are angry, they quietly close a door. They sip a coffee and stare. The quiet physical action completely replaces the spoken exposition. Even on the page, stripping away descriptive tags forces a shift in power. If a writer removes the phrase, "he said angrily," the reader has to lean in. They have to study the character's behavior and engage their own brain to decipher the emotion in the room. This translates directly to how we communicate online. A straightforward, literal caption is easily scrolled past. But a cryptic one, a line of poetry, a riddle, an unresolved thought, acts as a hook. It creates an intentional void. Psychologists call this the information gap. Watch how a dense, explanatory block of text dissolves into a minimalist puzzle. By withholding context, the brain cannot help itself. It actively works to fill in the blank, turning passive interest into obsession. A storyteller's true leverage stems from the blank spaces they force their audience to navigate. But words are only the first layer. A truly enigmatic presence must also be constructed visually. You have to learn how to hide information in plain sight. In cinematography, directors often rely on blue temperature lighting. By mimicking the cool, muted tones of moonlight and casting deep shadows across a set, they dictate exactly what the camera cannot see. The shadows do the heavy lifting, establishing a mood of intense anticipation. Even the shape of letters matters. Look at this split-screen comparison. On the left, a standard, brightly lit sans serif font. It is safe and obvious. On the right, a dimly lit Gothic font wrapped in blue tones. That choice carries an edgy subtext, shifting emotional weight without adding a word. We see this exact dynamic play out in ancient mythology. The deity Garuda possessed immense speed, but he flew with loud, ego-driven pride. His frantic energy was rendered entirely useless by Hanuman, who arrived at his destination in absolute silence. No fanfare, no announcement, just arrival. Later, when Hanuman faced the Sudarshan Chakra, a universally feared, unstoppable weapon, he didn't wage flashy war. He simply swallowed it. He handled a massive threat quietly, without needing to brag or display his effort to the world. Whether you are lighting a cinematic thriller or studying ancient legends, the rule remains. The most captivating, dangerous power in the room is the power you cannot fully see. This architecture scales directly to your personal life. Operating quietly, keeping your circle tight, and your life private relies on the exact same psychological logic as a suspense thriller. When you declare your ambitions before they materialize, you invite friction. You give cynics a target, and you allow fake friends to map out your dependencies. Talk is a vulnerability. Turn yourself into a black box, an individual secured behind an opaque shield. With your moves unlisted, attacks bounce harmlessly off the surface. This opacity triggers a magnetic pull. Humans must investigate the unknown. Unable to map your boundaries, they cannot look away. Think of a masterfully written scene with no dialogue tags. Think of a cinematic frame buried in blue shadows. Your personal leverage operates exactly the same way. It lives in the blank spaces you leave behind. Stop narrating your life. Post less. Say less. Let the outside world spend its energy trying to guess your true capabilities, while you quietly and consistently build them.